updates that have come out of it?
Oh, absolutely, there, Kendall. Quite shocking. We were basically at the site to see perhaps if it had been further cordoned off by police, and a few minutes after we arrived there, another illegal miner who says he's been underground for the past 2 weeks emerged. So you'd ask what the importance of that is that you must recall after the two bodies of those illegal miners were brought to the surface late last night, the indication was that there were no more illegal miners that were left underground. When we spoke to the gentleman, he indicated he had absolutely no idea that anything was happening on the surface or at all, that there were miners that had been trapped.
That is absolutely mind-boggling.
This is quite significant, and the fact that it really speaks to how vast this particular area is. So you'd find some of the illegal miners might be towards the west, to the east, the north, and even the south. So that's why the Mine Rescue Services and the Department of Mineral Resources had indicated that they searched one area, and it would take weeks, it would take months for them to search the entire area. So that's why it was quite important for them to move from there.
Chriselda, I think it would be key for our viewers to get an understanding that these are disused shafts.
Yes.
These are mines that have been closed down, some of them decades ago.
Yes.
And then the Zama Zamas themselves have gone in and they've gone and dug other shafts from those offshoots of those original shafts. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what we've been seeing as we've been tracking the story over the past couple of years. You know that illegal mining in South Africa dates back to about 2007. So these are disused mines. This particular one at the Langlaagte mine is declared a heritage site. Right. So essentially it is in the hands of the city of Johannesburg and in the much higher at the Department of Mineral Resources. So those holes were basically there for tourists to come and have a look. This is one of the areas where mining had started in the 1800s in Johannesburg. So looking at it from there, the latest now is we're hearing from the Department of Mineral Resources. They are in ongoing talks with the city of Johannesburg to see if they will keep the site as a tourist attraction and whether they need to close, or not close rather, Kendall, but make the hole smaller so that it doesn't gain these illegal miners such easy access. Yes. And then avoiding these casualties that we've seen.
The question about the security of around this site, how to secure the site to, I don't know, to stop illegal miners accessing it. Where does that responsibility fall? You've mentioned you've mentioned it's a heritage site and so on. Yes. Where does the responsibility fall?
Well, in majority of these disused mines, these that have shut down, for example, on the East Rand, that would be the responsibility of those who were in charge of the mine, the owners of the mine, to ensure that the holes that are there are closed, right, to ensure that illegal mining does not take place. But we've not seen that over the years, Kendall. They're basically abandoned. And you've had the Department of Mineral Resources really crack the whip with regard to that, either in terms of them taking responsibility when there are casualties there, or even fines to a certain degree. But with a mine such as this, that's a national a heritage site, certainly the department would then need to go into talks, as they have, with the city of Johannesburg on how to ensure, if you don't want to remove that heritage site status, not chase away the tourists, then you have to implement something else to ensure that the easy access that the illegal miners see at this stage would really would be stopped, or they'd be hindered from going into that particular mine.
Now, the last time we spoke, before you left for the site this morning, was we were expecting a Department of Mineral and Resources statement to basically cap off and give us an umbrella of what is going to be done and where to from now. Has that come through yet?
That has not come through yet, Kendall, but what we're really expecting from it is perhaps the latest statistics. You must recall, this is such a big problem for South Africa and for the Department of Mineral Resources that it had to set up a committee specifically to look at illegal mining in South Africa. So the latest statistics perhaps from the beginning of 2016 in terms of how many holes they've closed so far. The last statement that was released a couple of days ago indicated so far they've closed up to 200 holes and made more than 800 arrests since the beginning of this year. So it really gives you an indication of how many see this as a lucrative business and how the department would need to find other methods to ensure that if they want to curb this problem, they'd have to look for other solutions, because the ones that they've put in place now are certainly not working.
Chriselda, I want to thank you so much for having stayed so close to the story. Certainly a story to stay close to and build on as it goes further and further.
Very much.
There you have it, Chriselda Lewis, our reporter, who's been on site out in Langlaagte over the last few days to cover this story of a human tragedy, really. Now on to other stories. Emergency medical services personnel marched through Philippi on the Cape Flats today.